Howdy. Today, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I don't know why I keep saying that. I guess every video is different. Anyway, I'm going to share the top viewed videos of this year. It's going to be 4. It was supposed to be 3, but 2 of them ended up tying, so it's going to be 4. And then I'm going to share 3 videos that I feel deserved at least a little bit more attention for the different reasons. And finally, I'm going to talk about some of the goals for 2017 that I'm going to have for the channel. So let's start off with the videos that seem to garner the most attention. I didn't have any videos hit 1,000 this year. I didn't even have a single video that hit 500. Last year I had 5 in 2015. So that's going to be a goal for next year, is to try to see if I can get any videos, hit any topics that a lot more people are interested in, and we'll come back to that. So my number 1 video for the year was talking about the Franklin Planner, and it actually had 491 views. Didn't have a whole lot of comments on it. It, had 3 comments. As a matter of fact, my videos don't get a lot of comments. I need more comments, people. Y'all be nice, but more comments. Anyway, I talked about the Franklin Planner and how I use it, and then I promptly stopped using it for a while, and now I'm getting back into using it. My wife and I had a session with a friend of mine to see really how he used it. I mean, he actually went to a class some years ago to talk about all the different ways of using it. So we're going to be both getting into it a little bit more, because I have a lot of plans overall, things that I want to do this year that are both for this channel, my other channel, my blogs, and my career and life in general. So I'm not getting into all that. We're just talking about the videos. So that was my number 1 at 491. My next closest was only 122 views. Still, 122 views for a video from this channel, that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. And it was on something that could have been really controversial. And I called it, it's not just Oscars so white. So you may remember after the Oscars this year, leading up to the Oscars, there was this rant talking about Oscars so white because there weren't any minorities nominated for anything, which was a shame. But, I mean, I'm kind of used to that, but I understood the gripe. And so I tied that into all the other award shows, and I put up a whole lot of statistics in that video. And it was watched a lot. So, there's that. And the other 2 tied at 113 views each. And by the way, you'll probably notice the links up at the top. I might have to space these out so they're not all hitting, at the same time, because YouTube doesn't like that. Anyway, one of them was called Tweeting a Twitter Client. And this is after the Twitter people decided that they were going to remove the standalone version of TweetDeck, which really irked the heck out of me. I don't like having to sign on to the browser and do my stuff. I like to have separate things running. So I found this browser client called Tweetin', which is a lot like TweetDeck. And it works pretty well. Sometimes it's a little sluggish. Sometimes I have to, refresh the software because certain things stop working. But overall, it's a pretty nice client. So that one got 113 views. And then another one that got 113 views was during my 30 days of videos in April. There's this thing that they call beta, where, people do a video every day in April. So this year I decided to participate. Then it turns out that there's something this year called Vlogmas 2016, which you're supposed to do like a video diary every day in December. Now, didn't got time for that. Just don't. Anyway, one of the videos in April did really well, and it was called "We Need to Read More Books." And I talked about why we need to read more books and education and all these beautiful books that there are. By the way, that's my book back there, Embrace the Lead, that I wrote many years ago. I like to keep it close just to prove to people that I actually wrote a book, and that's it. So those were my top 4 watched videos of the year. Now I want to share 3 videos that, in my opinion, deserved a little bit more attention for different reasons. The first one I'm going to start with is called Be Whoever and Whatever You Want to Be. And I did that video after I had some guy basically say that one of my blogs was good, but because I wrote about more than just one specific topic, it wasn't good enough for his list. And I just talked about that in general, spreading it out to everything else because people really want to define who we are. For instance, this channel, I've had people say, well, you shouldn't just talk about anything you want to. You should just pick one thing and talk about that one thing all the time. And that's the only way you can be successful. You know what? It might be true, but I'm more than just one thing. I mean, that's why I have two channels. On my business channel, I mainly talk about leadership. And you know what? That kind of disproves this theory that if you stick with one topic, you're going to be successful. Because I don't get a lot of views on that channel. I get a lot more on this channel. So that's a lie, no matter what people say. You're supposed to do kind of what you want to do in life. Within within boundaries, of course. If you want to just go around slapping people because it makes you happy, yeah, you probably should think of doing something else. The next one that I think really deserves a lot more attention was called Diabetes, Doctors, and Medication. And in that video, I talked about something that I discovered that I didn't know before, which is there are rules that doctors actually have to follow in recommending that you take certain courses of medication or treatment, or else they won't get paid. And I never knew that before. And I've been diabetic since 1997, and I've had these doctors who would recommend certain things, and I was like, well, why are you recommending this? I don't seem to fit that. I don't seem to fit this, And in this particular instance, it was talking about cholesterol, where I don't have high cholesterol, but I'm on cholesterol medication. Why? Because it's recommended by the American Diabetes Association and insurance companies that diabetics are on cholesterol medication because you have this tendency to have high cholesterol. I think it's bogus, but even my personal doctor thought I should be on it. So there you go. Anyway, I thought that was really interesting because if it's for diabetes, it could be for almost anything else. I know a lot of young folks may not necessarily be thinking along these lines now, but you're not going to be young forever, and you're going to get information telling you that you should be taking certain medications or doing certain therapies, and this is probably why. The final thing I wanted to talk about, or that I talked about, was I did a video called You Don't Have to Be the Best. And initially I was talking about the two Syracuse basketball teams, the men and women's team, both of which made it to the Final Four this year, which was really amazing, and it made me happy. And one of the teams, lost in the Final Four, the game before the championship, and the women's team actually made it to the championship, then got crushed. But it's a thing where it says, you know what, you don't have to be the best in order to be successful. And I thought that was a really important message to get out there because, a lot of us try to be the best overall instead of just trying to be the best we can be. And the best we can be can actually be pretty lucrative. I mean, I used the Cleveland Browns of last year, even worse this year. But I used them as an example because I said, regardless of how bad that team is, everyone on that team was better than all those thousands of other people who tried to make the team and couldn't. If you can't make the worst team, then that says something about the people who did. But it doesn't mean that you're done. You can be successful elsewhere. Everyone isn't the best evaluator of talent. There's a lot of people who've been told you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, who not only do that, but succeed spectacularly. So that is another video. So there's 7 videos that I hope you kind of check out again. And, if you don't, I'll come to your house. Now, with that said, let's look to 2017. I mean, one of the things I really wanted to do in 2016, but it just didn't come, was I wanted to do a lot more interviews. I've done a bunch of interviews on this channel, but last year, I don't think I got one in. There was some controversy trying to figure out the Google Hangouts thing. I didn't realize until I tried to do a live stream using some stupid software that didn't work out, failed miserably, that you can actually still access Google Hangouts to do interviews and even do live presentations, which will show on YouTube. I thought they had totally taken that away. So it's still my goal to do more interviews with people that I think are interesting, who may have something to offer. I've got a couple of folks who I've talked to regarding books that they've written that I'd love to kind of try to do interviews with. and some other people. I think it's fascinating finding things out about other people. So that's one of the plans. Another plan is to try to do more videos here and there. I don't know that I'm going to do a video a day again in 2017. I just might pick a month. I don't know. We shall see. But in essence, I want to try to do more random videos. You know, I basically try to plan so that on this channel here, I have a video almost every Wednesday. And on my other channel, a video almost every Thursday. And it's nice to have something planned. People kind of get used to that. But having a few more videos don't hurt. I'm still kind of kicking my behind that I never did a video about some of the movies that I saw, because the review videos actually do pretty well. And, you know, I need to probably get a little bit more comfortable with doing those spontaneously. For instance, I'm not one of those people who wants to walk through the mall holding the camera doing a video, but a lot of people do. And, you know, walking at the lake is one thing. I can do that, but you can't do that during winter. It's kind of cold here. I mean, I don't know how much you folks know about Syracuse, New York, but we get a lot of snow. And a week like last week, where we basically had blizzard conditions Thursday and Saturday, you're not walking outside. Just not going to happen. But that's one of the things I want to do. And then there's something that I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying that I want anyone to go recruit anybody, but I set this as a goal, and I'm just mentioning in this video. And since I'm not expecting this video to get tons and tons of views, it would be nice if it did, but if it doesn't, then it's probably not going to happen. Which is, if this channel ends up with 500 subscribers by March 31st, then I'm going to give $50 to somebody. Someone is going to earn $50. And that's all I'm saying about that right now. I've been gaining subscribers. It's been interesting, maybe 1 or 2 a week, which is kind of nice. And if I keep getting 1 or 2 a week, then I might end up somewhere close to 400 by March 31st, but that ain't 500. So I want to see if that can happen. You know, I know other people who do certain videos on certain topics, and they get hundreds of thousands of numbers. I'm not looking for anything like that. But it would be kind of cool if I could eventually reach 1,000 subscribers. And, you know, it's the kind of thing that encourages you to keep making videos. But I like to do it one step at a time, as my wife says. I'm at 320 today. So that's 180 people for March. Let's see, that's about 35 days from now, I think. I'm getting the numbers wrong. 35 days. Oh my goodness. 100 days or so from today, or when the video goes out. So 100 days, 180 people. We shall see. And I'm not even going to tell you how I'm going to decide to do that, although it's going to take some participation from some folks. And if I only get one person, that's the person getting $50. So there you go. So that's something I want to try to do. And just overall, I know that there was a period there in November where I was really irked about stuff. Y'all know this. We weren't hiding anything, really. And it's just a part of the growth. It's something to reach for. If you don't have a goal or have something to go after, then, you know, you pretty much don't do anything. And I'm going to have some goals. I've got some life goals. I've got some money goals. I've got some health goals. So I've got some goals for the channel. Anyhow, this is all I've got. I'm thinking this is long enough. Y'all let me know what you think. I hope you have a wonderful year end. And we'll be talking back with you again in 2017. And we're going to come out full speed. I don't know why I'm saying we. It's just me. But I invite you guys to come along. So that's all I got. My name is Mitch Mitchell. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday. And let's all have a wonderful 2017. You take care.